You know, they said the Great Awakening. And I went in research of the Great Awakening. I'll read something I found out about the Great Awakening. This is a statement God is making in our generation. It's a statement He's making to us because He wants to do something again. 4 of this has happened. The last one happened it ended in 1980s. In the 1980s, it's debated. And to shock, they did not even put the Azusa revival as part of it. It happened between the second and the third awakening. And the reason they did not put Azusa is because it did not go on for a long time. It just started, I think it was just like few years. But the essence of Great Awakening is that it covers centuries. It goes for a long time. So they counted these other ones as awakenings because it went for a long time. And I'll read the reason for you. This refers to a series of religious revivals that swept through the American colonies and later the United States during the 18th and the 19th centuries. These revivals were characterized by passionate preaching, mass conversions, and an emphasis on personal pity to religious practices or duties and direct emotional experience of faith. The Great Awakening challenged established religious institutions, encouraged the foundations of new denominations, and had significant social, cultural, and political impact. This is my problem. Political impact. We happen to be in a season where there's going to be an election in the United States. But yet, nothing about God is spoken of like a policy. They keep on debating crazy things. Nothing about God. So there is no policy that talks about God. How God is supposed to be referenced in the United States. But yet, He says, in God we trust. Which God? Which God do we trust in America? Yet there is no policy. There is a policy for gayism. I don't know if I should enter that matter now. No policy for that one. Daniel chapter 3. There were 3 boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, in a country. King Nebuchadnezzar was the king that time. He was the king. Oh my God. Chapter 3 verse 19 to 30. I know we don't like scriptures. We'll read, because this might be your only scripture you have read today. We'll read this scripture today. Can I have it on this screen, please? We are good. Wherever you are, just stay. This is how the service will go. We cannot be normal again. The reason why we are like this is because everybody comes to church and sit behind a seat. Where is the thirst? Where is the hunger? The screen in front of me, can it work? It's not working? Okay. So then there was Nebuchadnezzar, full of fury. Okay, fine. And the form of his visage was, is this King James? Okay. Was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it was went to be heated. And he commanded that the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished, and rose up in the haste and spake, and said unto his counselors, did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see four men loose, walking into the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like Son of God. Near to the mount of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High God, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire. Okay, I cannot see. Okay. Media, may the Lord bless you. Okay, verse 27. Oh my God. Media. And the princes, governors, and captains, the king, counselors, being gathered together, saw the men upon whose bodies the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said, blessed be the God of who? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and delivered his servants and that trusted in who? Okay. And have changed king's word and yielded their bodies that they might not serve nor worship any God except their own God. Therefore I make what? A decree that every people, nation, and language who speak anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut into what? Into pieces, and their houses shall be made a dunghill, because there is no other God that can deliver after sort. Then the king promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the province. My point is, there were men that changed the cost of a nation. Men, three, changed the cost, changed the ruling of Nebuchadnezzar. Are there no men in the United States? Are there no women here? That a political campaign is going on, we have not heard about God for once. What is happening? Every day we gather to pray. Are there no men in the United States? Men that can change the course of a government. If you read through the scripture, you will see kings that serve God. It is a reality. Imagine the debate that just went on. Imagine the moderators. They were spirit-filled, and the candidates are talking about God. We'll be asking them, what policies God has God given you? And then when they say something, the moderator say, no. From what we are picking in the spirit, this is not what God is saying. Are there no men of God in the US? We are full with our buildings. What will you do with a building? God came, Jesus came for men and women, not buildings. are debating. Nothing about God. And we'll go and vote. What are you voting? Have you even asked the Lord who you should vote for? Are there no men in the US? God is asking.